Hello, good evening, and welcome to our 164th step in our walking tour through the Bible. I'm Father Alexander. This is St. Peter's in Hove. And I want to talk today about the psalm we use on Sundays in the first week of the Psalter. And we also use this psalm on important feast days as well. And it's Psalm 62, bracket 63, which is entitled A Soul Thirsting for God in the breviary. This psalm is not quite complete. It's the first 9 verses only. The last verses are a terrible curse directed at the psalmist's enemies, which wisely the editors of the breviary have decided to omit, because I think it rather changes the whole meaning of the psalm. It rather ruins what's gone before if it suddenly turns this terrible snarl directed against the people whom the psalmist doesn't like. You'll know this psalm, I think. O God, you are my God, for you I long. For you my soul is thirsting. My body pines for you, like a dry, weary land without water. So I gaze on you in the sanctuary to see your strength and your glory. For your love is better than life. My lips will speak your praise. So I will bless you all my life. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul shall be filled as with a banquet. My mouth shall praise you with joy. On my bed I remember you. On you I muse through the night. For you have been my help. In the shadow of your wings I rejoice. My soul clings to you. Your right hand holds me fast. I think this is a very great psalm, and it's very profound. First of all, the Jews wandered in the desert for 40 years, and they had no water in the desert, so they knew what thirst was. And like all people, even when they were settled in the land, they were haunted by the idea of drought. And we do have that famous drought in the time of the prophet Elisha. Um, Therefore, O God, you are my God, for you I long. My soul is thirsting for you, like a dry, weary land without water. That is a very powerful image. The soul without God is like a parched land, a place where nothing grows, a land under a curse. In other words, the land cries out for moisture, the land cries out for rain. Only then will it produce fruit, only then will it go green, only then will it be beautiful. And similarly, we cut off from God are like a desert. Without God, there's nothing there. Without God, we are dry as dust. Nothing can flourish in us. So you are my God, for you I long, for you my soul is thirsting. My body pines for you like a dry, weary land without water. That's very important. The other thing that's very important there is just as Israel is the people of God, and God is the God of Israel. So the individual, the Christian, me, you, we are made for God. We're incomplete without God. We fit with God. If God and us are separate, we're at a loose end. We're hopeless. We're flailing. Man without God is lost in the world. In other words, we are radically incomplete beings until we are completed through relationship with God. So we need this relationship with God to flourish as human beings. So that is why I long for God, because God is my natural fulfillment. I find natural fulfillment in my relationship with God. Without God, I am lost. I am unfulfilled. Without God, I am that dry thing. So, where do I find God? Because if I need God, if God is necessary for my happiness, God is necessary for my fulfillment, I better find Him. Where? Where should I look? Good point. So, I gaze on you in the sanctuary to see your strength and your glory. In other words, this person goes to the temple and looks at the sanctuary, knowing that God lives there. And that is where God is to be sought. Thirsting for God, he raises his eyes to God in the sanctuary. Where are we going to look? Well, we too have the sanctuary, we have the tabernacle, we have the presence of God in our midst. We must look at the Blessed Sacrament. We must look at the Blessed Sacrament exposed on the altar for our veneration and adoration. We must look at the Blessed Sacrament when the priest raises the Blessed Sacrament at the elevation in the Mass. In other words, our attention, our longing, our craving must be fixed on the Blessed Sacrament. That is the royal road to heaven. That is our highway to salvation, as the Blessed Carlo Acutis so rightly said. So just as the pious Israelite went to the temple, because he knew that the temple was the place where God was, we must go to Mass, because that is where God is. Man is saved by God. Where is God? God is in the liturgy. So therefore it follows that man is saved by the liturgy. Then he says something else, which is, we've got to have better things to do than go to Mass. Have we? Really? Are you sure about that? No, I don't think so. For your love is better than life. My lips will speak your praise. So I bless you all my life. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul shall be filled as with a banquet. My mouth shall praise you with joy. In other words, I will go to the sanctuary, I will look upon God, and I will be fed. For your love is better than life. The love of God will feed me, will fulfill me. My soul shall be filled as with a banquet. In other words, I will find my delight in God. Without God, I'm like a desert. With God, it's a banquet of delights. I will find consolation and strength in God. Now, we don't always find consolation and strength in God. That's the truth, isn't it? I think we must be honest about this. Quite often people go to Mass and are bored to almost a distraction. Quite often even the priest will be saying the various prayers he says, and he said them so many times, such as this breviary, which I've been saying, as you can see, for many a year. You can see how worn out it's looking. The priest may be saying this breviary again and again. It may be automatic. So we need to renew our prayer life. Incidentally, we do lots of things automatically. We eat automatically, we shove food in and digest it automatically. We don't think about what we're eating half the time. We breathe without having to tell ourselves to breathe. No, we don't say, take a breath, exhale, inhale, exhale. No, we just do it automatically. The breathing becomes automatic. When oxygen is taken away from us, then we realize how important breathing is. So just as we breathe automatically, we pray automatically. Somehow or another, we need to reappraise our prayer, and we need to realize that our prayer is essential to us as human beings, to our happiness as human beings. If you're unhappy, try praying, by the way. It might well do you the world of good. It might be the way into happiness. If you're feeling depressed, try praying. If you're feeling at a loose end, try praying. Praying is the discovery, among many other things, the discovery of your purpose, why you are here. You're here to pray. You're here to relate to God. Prayer is relation to God. And this guy goes away from the temple because he's not there all the time, unlike Anna, who's in chapter 2 of St. Luke's Gospel, and also the early Christians at the end of St. Luke's Gospel who are continuously in the temple praising God. No, he goes home, he goes to bed. On my bed I remember you. On you I muse through the night. For you have been my help. In the shadow of your wings I rejoice. My soul clings to you. Your right hand holds me fast. So what's going on there? Is he praying as he's lying in bed? Yes. I think what it's saying is that God, the presence of God, is the background to his life. God is always there, like the air we breathe. On you I muse through the night. He's not praying, he's not contemplating, he's not meditating, he's musing. You know, when your mind is sort of blank, when you're lying in bed, your mind is sort of semi-blank, and somehow or another you're aware of all the things that surround you. That's what it's talking about there, I think. In other words, I muse on you through the night. I know you're there. In the shadow of your wings, I rejoice. You are guarding me with your wings, if you like. That somehow or another God is you are sheltering under the wings of the Most High. God has wings is a rather odd idea, but the idea is he has taken us under his wing. That's the English way of putting it. We are under the protection of God. We feel safe. My soul clings to you. Your right hand holds me fast. Now, what we have here is two things. My soul clings to you. Your right hand holds me fast. So from me to you, from me to God, from God to me. I cling to God, I adhere to God, and I feel that I am held by God. This is essentially what religious faith is. Adherence to God and the sense that God is holding us, God is adhering, God is surrounding us, his right hand holds me fast. God is the stability in our life. So I think this is a really profound psalm telling us what our relationship with God is. He is our God. We long for him because in him we find meaning and truth and fulfillment. Okay, hope you like, and that's one of the reasons I think why this psalm is so prominent in the liturgy. It's a great psalm, and so we say it again and again because it's full of meaning. All the very best. Hope you found that helpful. Bye for now.